An interesting story about you and a guy I know. It happened at a little bar in Jersey a long time ago.
I have made a few mistakes in my life, and that was one of the big ones. I was working at a joint called the Miami Club in Newark, and it was a real tough joint. As a matter of fact, they called it the Bucket of Blood. And one night, I was doing the show, and there was a little fat, bald-headed guy at the ringside. And every time I came out to introduce an act or tell a joke, he would say something derisive, you know, nasty. And I was heisting a few at the time. And I said to the owner of the joint, I said, that guy is driving me nuts. I said, now, if he doesn't stop, I'm going to take care of him. So I came out and another time, and he began to heckle. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, will you excuse me for a moment? I would like to invite this gentleman to step out on Clinton Avenue, and I'd like to take good care of him, and then we can do the show without any interruptions. I never saw anybody get up as fast as this guy did. Now we get out on Clinton Avenue. I said, now you're going, and that's the last I remember. The next thing that I recall, I was on the floor of the cellar next to the furnace. A doctor was there, the owner of the joint, and they had brought me through too, and I said to him, who was that guy? He says, that was Tony Galento. I said, did you know it was Tony Galento? He said, sure. I said, well, why didn't you tell me? He said, well, you're a wise guy. You know, I thought I'd let you go up against him. But that was really a big mistake. Did you ever fight him?
No, Jackie, but you picked on the roughest, toughest street fighter in the fight game.
Yeah, but you know, a funny thing about fighters, Rock, with the exception of Galento, I think fighters are the most gentle people I've ever met.
Among the heavyweight title contenders of the mid-1930s was a brawling tavern owner delicately called Ton Tony Galento. His chief training aid was beer, and his stock comment on ring opponents was "I'll moiter de bum." Occasionally, he almost did. The build-up to the heavyweight title elimination fight between Max Baer and Tony Galento was one of the most hilarious publicity stunts ever staged.
Oh, Operator, would you give me Galento's tavern there in Orange, New Jersey?
Hello? Who is this? It's Galento's joint.
Hello, Tony. How are you? Yeah, this is the man you're going to fight. The fellow that's a bum, yes, that's me.
Why, you big bum. What are you starting that stuff? That's my line, you big bum. I'm going to murder you.
Say, listen, Tony, I'd like to speak to you, so would you put your interpreter on? Yes, all right, thanks. Hello, this is Max Baer. Say, I just wanted to call you up and let you know that I'm going to knock that fella of yours out when I fight him this coming 28th day of May. Yeah, you know, that muscle-bound fighter that you work for. You do the interpreting for him, don't you? Well, that's well. Well, just convey that message to him.
There was nothing hilarious about the fight. Galento could really fight, and it went 7 bloody rounds before Max Baer tagged Galento for keeps. Now there was a chance for another title match.
Could I ask you, I'll just let him...
Why not?
I'll let my cameraman move around. Right. Tony, you fought him. What was it like to fight
you?
you?
The greatest. He beat me, and I beat them all but him. He's the only guy that ever knocked me down for no count, but he cut me up pretty good, and Monzel Solution blinded me. But Joe was a good puncher, fast puncher. He would have been a great fighter today, great champion.
He was something in his day, Tony. He was colorful, boy. I used to love to watch him. Yeah. Yeah, you see that left hook out here.
Get my head caught in the guy's face. I didn't mean it. I apologize. Got my thumbs caught in different eyes there.
Tony, when Lewis hit you, what did it feel like?
He didn't hit me hard. I got caught throwing the right hand. I couldn't see with the Monzel Solution. He cut me, and they used that Monzel Solution. He didn't dry it, run into my eyes. And I couldn't see nothing but a lot of ashes. And he was a fast puncher. And it was a good thing they stopped it, otherwise I'd have got hurt more. I never got knocked counted over. He was the only guy that ever knocked me down. I lost fights and cut eyes and wet and butted. I never lost a fight, never counted over.
Thank you very much.
Great. Really great.
From Orange, New Jersey, affectionately known as Ton Tony, 29 years old, weighing 233 3/4 pounds, the challenger, Tony Galento. the champion of the world in his 7th title defense from Detroit, Michigan. 25 years old, weighing 203 pounds, Joe Louis. And we're pleased to have with us the Hall of Fame boxing sportscaster who's called more blow-by-blow fights than anyone in history, Don Dunphy. Welcome, Don. Now, Don, tell us the scene of boxing, the era, the way it was as Galento and Louis were ready to match up.
Well, Louis, Kurt, had won the title about 2 years earlier by knocking out Jimmy Braddock in Chicago. He had defended it successfully 6 times, the last 3 times by one-round knockouts, among them Max Schmeling. The challenger, Tony Galento, came in highly regarded, and despite the fact that writers sometimes disparaged his skills, called him the bear barrel that walked like a man because of his 233 pounds and 2-ton Tony and all that. Nevertheless, he was the outstanding contender for the heavyweight title in 1939. He had won 8 bouts in a row, all of them by knockouts. But nobody gave him a chance, really. And you know how they have a poll of the boxing writers and broadcasters?
You and I have been quizzed in many events.
That's right. Well, in this poll, nobody picked Galento to win. A lot of them picked Louis in the first, the second, the third, maybe even by a decision, but nobody picked Galento to win. And I recall a macabre bit because Quentin Reynolds, a great columnist of the day and also a broadcaster, when asked, he actually predicted that Louis would kill Galento, and I mean dead.
The late Quentin Reynolds.
That's right.
Now, he was wrong because Galento's still alive and with us here in the way it was. So let's go back now to June 1939. It's Yankee Stadium, and it's an amazing heavyweight championship fight. And to tell you about it, a blow-by-blow, Don Dunphy.
The Yankee Stadium, June 28, 1939, an unforgettable moment in U.S. sports history, the heavyweight championship of the world, as Joe Louis and Tony Galento, coming now, enter the stadium to get dressed for their memorable battle. A final checkup in the dressing room just before the fight. Dr. William Walker of the New York State Athletic Commission, Joe Louis on the left, and Tony Galento in a final friendly pose before the fight. Joe Louis in his corner, waiting for the gloves to be put on by his trainer, Jack Blackburn. And Tony Galento already has his on as Whitey Bemstein tightens them. It's round 1 for the heavyweight championship of the world. Galento, 233 3/4, Louis, 200 3/4. The referee, Arthur Donovan, Galento immediately goes to work and crowds the champion to the ropes. No punches landed there for a moment. Galento fighting out of a half crouch. Louis has had trouble sometimes with crouching fighters. Galento again forces the champion into the ropes, and no blows have been struck here in round 1 as yet. Louis short with that left hand, pecks out with it. It's a deadly jab when it lands. It's short again, and Galento in, hurts Louis with a left hook to the jaw, drives him to the ropes, staggers him, and Louis almost goes down. Louis is held against the ropes by Tony Galento as the referee, Arthur Donovan, gets them apart. Galento's had a good round so far. He paws out with that left hand. Louis backs away, gets away from a right at his head, takes the right high on the head that hurts him again. And Louis battles back with both hands to the head as Galento again crowds him to the ropes.
I got fooled.
You got fooled?
Yeah, he was great heavyweight, the best.
How about it now? You had him in trouble in the first round. You let him get away?
Yeah, well, I tell you the truth, that referee was hitting me from behind. It felt that way anyway.
Joe, when Tony hit you with that first punch, I mean, did you really feel it?
Well, really, to tell the truth, always the first punch you're trying to get in yourself. You're trying to get the first punch, but when you get hit with the first punch, then the thing goes, you know, it's just like all forgotten now. Man, you're ready for the fight now. So always I'm trying to land the first punch. Always trying to land the first punch first.
You're under the pressure already. You're only 25 years old at the night of this fight. You know, everybody expected you to come in and knock everybody out in the first or second round.
Well, to tell the truth, the Galento fight, I really didn't want to knock him out at all. What I mean, maybe past the 10th round, because he had been so bad and calling me all kind of names and everything. I really didn't want to knock him out until maybe past the 10th round.
You wanted to give him the Chinese water torture treatment.
Honest to God, I really didn't.
You mean you wanted to carry him and cut him up?
I really didn't want to knock him out.
That's not like you, Joe. I don't think you ever did that.
The only time that ever happened. It's the only time I ever said it.
He did call you a bum.
Oh, he called him everything.
I called him up and told him to get in shape because I'm going to murder you, bum. And you know what he said to me?
You better think right, he said to me.
In the third round when I got knocked down, I didn't want to carry, like 10 rounds there. I just want to get it over with. But if I hadn't got knocked down in the third round, I think the fight would have won 10 rounds.
Tony, most opponents in those days, Lewis now, maybe not even in his prime yet, lost the fight before they ever came out of their dressing room. They were afraid of Joe before they came out.
No,
What was your feeling?
Joe was you can't put it that way. I don't put it that way. The guy was great. He beat me. When he beat me, he beat the best. Because I could lick all them bums. I knocked out Leroy Haynes, Lorenzo Pack, Otis Thomas, Ace Clark, Leonard Dixon, Cuban Bobby. I licked them all. I had 69 knockouts. I had 114 fights. I was the amateur middleweight, light heavyweight, heavy champion in New Jersey. And I don't know, I was pretty good anyway. And he wasn't fighting no stiff. I just didn't get the right punches though.
Wild with a right hand thrown from the floor. Lewis short with a left jab. At long range again. Galento is fighting upright now. He does better out of a crouch. Now he drops a little bit. He's short with the left hand. Is countered by a left hook on the jaw by the champion. The great Joe Lewis pounds the right to the body. Hooks the solid left to the jaw. Jabs the left. That's just short of the mark. Pounds both hands to the body of Galento. And Galento is being raked for the first time in the fight. Ton Tony has never been off his feet in a prize fight. He takes a solid jab on the chin. And a left and then a short right to the jaw by Lewis. And Galento is being cut down to size. He outweighs the champion by 33 pounds. Galento is short with the left, is raked by another right hand to the body. Galento, the challenger, not doing nearly as well here in round 2 as he did in round 1. Lewis pecks out that left, tries to measure him, does, crashes on the right, and Galento is down from that left hook on the jaw. And he bounces up without a count. The first time Galento has ever been off his feet in a prize fight. Galento takes the left hook, a right to the jaw. He's starting to bleed around the mouth. Another right high on the head by Lewis. Lewis is having a great round here in round 2. Again, they're in a clinch. Lewis again short with a pecking left hand. Galento into the light left hook to the jaw of Lewis. And Lewis holds on as Galento forces him against the ropes over in Tony's corner. Out in the center of the ring again. Galento keeps moving his hands up and down in front of his face, short with the left lead at the head. Lewis ready to measure his man again, his left down low, his right ready to come in and counter. Lewis a light jab on the chin of Galento. Galento scores with a light left hook on the jaw, a short right uppercut on the chin. One of the few right hands that Galento has landed so far in the fight. Out in the center of the ring they go. Lewis is dropped by a left hand to the jaw by Galento. The champion was down. A hard left hook on the chin caught Lewis on the way in, and the champion was down. They've both been down once in this fight so far. Let's see if Galento can follow up his advantage, but Tony's face is well marked. He's taken a beating. Lewis misses a right hand at the jaw as they go into a clinch, and again the referee has them apart. Tony, after the knockdown, has been very wild. He runs into another left hook on the jaw by Lewis. It's round 3 for the heavyweight championship of the world, and not many thought it would go this far. Galento misses the left hand at the jaw. Yankee Stadium, the scene of this heavyweight championship battle. Lewis ready to go to work again. Here's Galento, his mouth wide open. He seems to have trouble breathing right now. Gets away from a left thrown at his nose by the champion. Galento, a left hand high on the head again, and Lewis makes him miss a left, and again they go to close quarters and hold on. The round is coming to a close now. Lewis moving out after Galento, gets away from that left hook. Ton Tony, the aggressor.
I'm that thing. I do all my own instruction, right? The guy in the corner don't mean nothing. He's not getting hit. I'm getting hit.
So you planned your own strategy.
My own strategy. How many fights did he have? Strategy.
Oh, not too many, I don't
Tony,
believe.
I want to ask you a question. How come you didn't have much of a right hand?
Well, if you throw a right hand, you're off balance. That's how he knocked me down. I threw a right hand, he knocked me on my backside. And believe me, I was never knocked down. I did go out the ring one time. I dove at a guy that hit him, and I went right out in the audience. I got back and I knocked him out after that, but out of the ring I went. I missed the guy.
Sorry, Tony.
What?
Joe, you wanted this to go 10 rounds, you said, but when you knocked him down, were you hoping he'd get up?
He wanted to cut me up.
Yes.
You're hoping he'd get up?
I really did.
Did you feel that way about other fighters you fought?
Never did. He's the only one that made me so mad that, you know, I really was. But he had called everything he had called me during the training period for the fight.
He really put the needle in.
Yeah, he really did.
Joe, I remember one day in the training camp, you just shook your head and you said, why that little fat man calls me a bum?
Yeah, he said, someday I think I'm a bum. But he does, you know, he does call me everything.
All right, now let's go back for round 4 of this heavyweight classic between Galento and Lewis.
Galento feints the left hand, goes into a crouch again, away from a jab, away from another, but he takes a solid right hand to the jaw by Lewis. It's a question of how much of this battering Galento can take now. He's hooked with a left to the jaw by the champion. On the inside, Galento scores with a left hook on the jaw. Referee Arthur Donovan has them apart again. Lewis feints the left hand. Galento moves away from a left that goes over his head. Lewis short with the lead. Takes a light left on the chin by Galento. Again they go to close quarters and are parted by the referee. Galento is tiring now. Lewis at full strength. Lewis short with a jab. Lewis feints the left hand, brings in a short right uppercut to the jaw, and blocks the left hand at his head by Galento. You can see how marked Galento's face is now as Galento hooks the left hand on the jaw. Galento wild with a left over the head counter with a left hook to the jaw. Lewis is measuring his man, crashes a solid right hand to the jaw. Galento is staggered. He takes the left hook. He takes the short right uppercut. It's near the end now, I think. Galento fires back with the right. It's met with a left and a right to the jaw. A fusillade of punches by the champion. You can't keep up with them. Another left hook, and the referee goes over and gets them apart. I don't know what's keeping Galento on his feet. Lewis comes at him again. Galento is staggered again by a right, then a left, a right uppercut, a left hook to the jaw. With time against Galento as he staggers into the ropes. He almost goes down, the referee holds on to him, and that is the end.
The time, 2 minutes, 29 seconds of the fourth round. The winner and still world heavyweight champion, Joe Louis.
You were very personally unhappy with Galento before the fight. You wanted to cut him up. You wanted to carry him 10 rounds. But after the fight, you paid him a tribute. You said he was the toughest man you'd ever fought.
Yeah, he was. He was a tough fight. He's taking good punches. The man with Galento been a good friend of a long time.
He should be honored by all people. He was a great fighter, the greatest, one of the greatest.
Well, I think he has been honored.
I rate him like, I think Gene, Tony, and Dempsey were good, but he was better. Because I don't think, Dempsey fought a lot of big apes that I could lick easy. Guys like Jess Woolard. I could knock out every big guy, 6'11", 6'10", 6'9". Benedict 6'9". Oh, I knocked them all out. They were easy because they're targets. But him, he kept that jab and he put sharp punching. And I tell you the truth, I thought he had a razor in them gloves.
Now let's talk about that. Now let's take Joe Louis back with us to the fourth round. A 25-year-old Joe Louis. And have Joe described, we really see him here, the greatness of him, the left, the right, the quickness as he works you over in this fourth round.
Well, I think the fourth round really actually came from the third round. I was knocked down the third round. I think that
you're mad.
Yeah, the fourth round was woke me up and made me forget about what I wanted to do. So I just went ahead and fought a little harder. And so
how good were you at this age, Joe? Were you better later on? Is this your prime right now, 25, or were you better when you're 28, 29?
I think between 25 and 26. Yeah,
yeah, this is right when you're right at your peak. Look at this. How are you feeling about now, Tony? Being hit like
that? To see that.
It's still, this is 1939. You can still feel it, I'll bet. Oh, there's a...
Don't think Louis was fighting a bum. I licked a lot of men that quicker than him, like Nathan Mann. 2 rounds.
He said
1 round. February 1 round.
He said you were a great fighter.
I know. He respected me. Don't worry about that. I look like a piece of raw meat.
I think he put in 40 stitches in it.
40 stitches in it.
A lot here, up in here. The Monsell solution blinded me, and I thought I was getting hit from all angles. That's why I thought the referee was hitting me.
You had to do it all over again? Would you fought him any differently?
Well, no. The same way, maybe. It's a funny thing when you get to that bridge, you cross it.